All right, good. Now, in this clip, what we're going to discuss is how to establish the mentoring relationship. It's got to be a very trusting relationship. You have to do that early. All right, we're going to discuss about how to connect with the mentee in a real way that means to them. We're going to talk about how to establish the 7 elements to establish that ongoing mentor-mentee relationship. And then we're going to talk about on the back end of it is the key mark that shows, am I a good mentor now? Am I developing people? There's a key mark. We'll discuss that on the back end of this. All right, let's get started.
I think it makes a lot of sense to establish the relationship because being a supervisor, when you have more than one employee working under you, everyone has different personalities, and you have to learn how to deal with each person individually. You can't just come in and try to deal with every single person the same way because we're not all the same, and we're not
exactly right. Exactly right.
We're not going to all take it the same.
And if you have not gotten that person's DISC profile, don't hide behind that. You got to really be good at recognizing personality profiles from your training that you've gotten in DISC training. And remember, are they an extrovert? Are they an introvert? That's the first thing. And remember, you handle that differently. Then you have to ask the question, are they a right brain social person? Then they need a lot more human talking. So they mentioned their mom, ask about their mom, okay? They mention their kids, talk about their kids, okay? Talk about friendlies. Or if, like Natasha, if you don't want to go personal and dick, you can share with, man, how do you like this weather? Oh, this is great. I love it. I tell you, I just absolutely love this weather. My favorite part of the year is the fall. I love the fall. I mean, I like it. I love the summer, but man, that fall, that feel, you see, you're opening up on a social base, a person that's more on the right brain type of personality. That connects with them. Wow, she's telling me about the fact that she likes the fall. And watch, why? Because you're building that camaraderie, that relationship on the social things. And then you have a social conversation for 7-8 minutes. You lull it down to where you need to now move it to the left brain and then go over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it also builds like a sort of trust too. Like they begin to trust you, and that all around will make a better relationship with an employee.
Right. So if you can tell, that's right. It's about, because they can tell. If you can tell that they're not a right brain person, you have to guess, okay, maybe I'm not seeing a lot of social feeling kind of person. So I'm gonna err on the fact that I might be dealing with an introvert that's on the left side of the diagram. So here's what that would like. That would say something like, instead of talking about the weather, you might say, so let me ask you, how did you find Wila Cap? Say, boom, business. Great. I said, so cool. And so where you were before, and then you talk about their history. You know what I'm saying? It's more business conversation. Okay. So you you establish the relationship, right? And then by establishing it, then you can move on to the other things the movie brings out. It's got to be an ongoing conversation, okay? The message has to be clearly sent that we're helping one another. And look, y'all, say these things. A lot of times we just think people are going to catch it. No, you have to say this. Look, the reason why I want to meet with you is because first and foremost, I want to establish the relationship with you. I want you to see that I'm human, or at least I'm trying to be human. And sometimes when I look like a lizard person and I'm mean, I don't want you to ever think that I'm taking my human hat. I just got to learn to be better. So I want you to know I'm trying to set up a good relationship with you. Say it. There's actually nothing wrong not saying it. No, there's actually not something wrong saying it. It's actually not smart if you don't, because they just may not catch it. Then you tell them, look, I want to make sure this is an ongoing conversation. I want to make sure that you know that we're supposed to be helping each other. The conversations that we're going to have is for me to help you and support you, and for you to educate me on what's going on. Otherwise, I don't know how to help you. So I need you to feel very free talking with me, and I'll try to make sure not to shoot your ideas down, not to say no all the time, to be in a bad mood, any of that. I'm trying to work on those things, okay? But I want both of us to be involved in everything we're doing. Okay. I want you to take risks. Okay. I want you to know that I encourage risk. And if you go too far, I'll pull you back. If I don't think you're taking risk and I'm having to hold your hands too long, I'm going to push you. And then I want you to grow. I expect you to grow. I want you to grow. Listen, in this relationship, one of us is going to increase and one of us is going to decrease. And it would honor me greatly if I train you, I help you grow. And 6 months, I hope it's not that early, or a year or 2 years, you jump to another department because you used me as a springboard for that. That would be an honor. That to me is a mark of success. Try to give me 4 weeks notice so I can retrain the next person, and both you and I can train your replacement. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a way for you to feel like you're going to grow And in that growth, it's going to look like I'm not growing because you're taking the forefront. Okay. That's what this is about. Does that make sense? Ask that. You see, if you say that, that's a really good way to start a mentoring relationship. Do y'all see that? I put those bullets there as kind of like a script, your talking points of that first conversation. Give me your thoughts.
It kind of reminds me of, I sent you a quote yesterday.
Oh
and I just saw
man,
your
yes.
email.
Can you put it on the screen?
So I come across this on Facebook yesterday. It came across my feed, but it just says confident mentors invest their best in proteges. They are acutely aware that success requires a successor.
Man.
And so when we're trying to help them become successful, we're doing that because, first of all, we're confident enough in what we do to help them get better, and even sometimes better than we are. And sometimes I think, we as leaders or managers or mentors even become hesitant to help people get better than we are, or at least as good as we are.
I had a supervisor tell me this. I hear what you're saying, but if I train everybody to be that excellent, what happens to me? And I said, well, let me tell you what happens to you if you don't do that, because your company is moving toward a mentoring style of leadership and they want you to mentor your people to success. So let me tell you what's going to happen if you do not get all your team members to where they're better at this than you are. And he's like, oh, well, that changes the story. I said, well, then get to it. And when you get everybody to success and you're fearing for your job, you give me a call and I'll tell you how to handle that. Later in the conversation, I explained to him, don't worry, you have to trust your leaders, your bosses, that if they want you to do this, they want to see that you can build a department that is so awesome that it can operate without you. If it cannot operate flawlessly without you, you have not done a good job of training them how to be excellent. Your mark is that you can go on vacation and nobody misses you, that you are that easily fireable. And he's like, oh man, you're asking me to trust. I said, yes, I am. I'm asking you to trust that when they see that, they're just going to pile more people in your department. Or they're going to give you another department. No company is stupid enough to see that level of success and then easily walk away from it. Okay. What you're seeing in corporate America of people being disloyal and companies being disloyal, it's not because everyone's overperforming. It's because we're all status quo and then it destroys loyalty. But companies, individuals, they like to make money from a lull that can create 7 lulls. Get those clerks up to speed, make them your successors. Y'all, he's been there. That conversation was 9 years ago. I cannot tell you what that guy's doing. He's got now the equivalent of 3 times the department. He's got 4 supervisors. He now oversees 4 offices because he caught it. He caught it. My job here is to make greatness out of everybody else. And 1 of 2, 3, or 4 or 5 of these people can take over my job. And notice he hasn't lost his job. I love that quote, Gerald. When you sent that to me, that was just fantastic.
Whenever you're successful, then I'm successful.
Right.
And, when I'm training and coaching and doing things, I try to get them to be better, because it reflects if I'm not here. I want it to run smoothly. But I want them to develop in the best they can be. So